Roll call. What up? What up? What up? What's good, everybody? We are two, no, excuse me, three of the Dirty Bird Thursday crew. We here with Ms Maggie T and Big Ant. This is an impromptu State of the NFL, State of the NFC South show. I am the Falcons therapist, and this is the resident nose tackle, Big Ant.
What's going on, y'all? About to tackle this thing.
We're going to give y'all a taste of what's to come this evening. For everybody that hadn't got in here yet, we'll give a chance for everybody to get in here. But how you doing, Big Ant?
Look, man, I can't complain, bro. I'm ready to tackle these subjects, man.
Man, what you talking about? It has been an interesting, I would say, an interesting weekend going into the week.
Oh, yeah.
And a lively 48 hours, man. Bruh.
Because, man, a whole lot of people around the league been talking spicy.
Yes. Yes.
It's starting to come back full force now.
Look, we've been telling y'all. But before we get into the show, and let's see who we got in the comments. Let's go through a roll call. ATL Leo, what's good, man? Who else we got in here? Red Swarm, bro. Always good to see you, man. What's going on?
Always.
Fat Norris, what's good, man?
What's going on?
Bubba Gump, what up, man?
Right,
let's see who else we got in here.
I think that's it right now.
Okay.
Okay, we got one more. Mactown Mike.
What's up, Mactown? All right. Let's see, we got any more in there?
I think that's all I see right now. Hold on.
Coach,
what's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Hey, Coach, when you get a minute, man, when you get to an area, we still on. You're welcome to come on, man.
Oh, yeah. You already know.
All right. Well, before we get everything started, we got something for y'all right quick. A nice little surprise here. So everybody stay tuned. Keep your listening ears open. Y'all need to rise up. That's what's up. Yo, that is our official intro. Let us know how y'all like it. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, look. That get me crunk, man. Hey. Take me back.
All right. Let's get into these topics, man. So what we got first here? All right, here we go. Now, we know all y'all waiting to hear about this, so we're going to give y'all a small little snippet of what's going on. But says the NFL strips Miami Dolphins of the 2023 first-round pick, fines Stephen Ross $1.5 million for tampering with Tom Brady and Sean Payton. And how you feel about that?
Oh, my God, man. What can I say? Here we go again. Look, this is everybody's favorite quarterback, right? But I think this is his third violation. I mean, so How can he be a GOAT of football when he's always trying to cheat? He's always trying to look for that, that perfect situation to get a leg up. But you've had almost everything. Like, there's only been a handful of times you haven't had a top defense. You've had the best coach in this era. So please tell me, Juan, why would you need to cheat? I don't understand.
Well, here's the deal, and I know this is a very interesting. I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's stupid. You've been in the league 20 some odd years. Out of those 20 years, you've been coddled 19 of them.
Right.
You snot and cried because you didn't think you was gonna get picked, and when you did get picked, you came out. You had a team with a top 10 defense, decent offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's been cradling your career.
Every year.
The thing I don't get is why the desperation? If you the GOAT, why you so desperate to be number one? Period. If you the GOAT, GOATs don't do that. See, what it sounds like to me, you got caught up in trying to build a super team.
Yep. See?
During the season. Pretty much. Because you was with a long-standing organization in the Patriots, and then because you didn't get your way with Belichick, you left and went to Tampa. Yep. So it seems. Now you in Tampa, you come down there, and first year you get a Super Bowl. Why? Because you panicked and start calling all the players that you knew to make sure you had your security blanket around you. And then you won a Super Bowl. Oh, he's the GOAT. Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah. Not coming out of my mouth, it ain't.
I'd rather spit.
Nah. And now you're getting caught up into this. And for all of y'all that they ain't really grasped this, look at the timeline. He comes out of New England, goes to Tampa, wins the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They
have a less than stellar year the next year. Then he turns around, and you have Sean Payton, of all people, that's retiring from the Aints. But you had conversations with him.
Before he retired.
Tampering. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a Falcons fan.
That's just gonna go everybody.
Yeah, you know. What do I know? What do I know? But you rant and rave and run up and down, and y'all gonna drag Ridley through the mud. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because bad business is bad business.
Yep.
Period. It's odd how y'all drag. It's odd how y'all drag out Ridley for gambling, which gambling been going on in NFL for years. But tampering is something we want to sweep under the rug. Really? Because what you're saying is it's okay to penalize somebody for making the NFL look bad for possibly betting on games.
Right.
But it's not bad, or it's not an issue to possibly throw the whole character of the sport out the window for tampering. And this ain't no oops, we made a mistake. This is blatantly like, yeah, we're going to do this. Now what?
They made it known that they was gonna do
So, and it brings up another point that I wanna say. Now that's parallel with the DeShaun Watson situation, not in the same offense, but
it.
in the same punishment. Because now you're looking like we can turn a blind eye to that young man's situation. Now, first and foremost, no, I'm not a legal counsel nor a judge, so I'm not judging this man. That's not my area of expertise. But you kind of see how this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to punish everybody across the board fair. Period. If you feel, in fact, that it's going to tarnish the reputation. And what we had talks in the chat, and I'm like, the NFL looks at it in two ways. You have the protection of the shield, which is money, and then you have what they consider a case-by-case, isolated incident type basis, which means that the blame falls on the team and the player. So the Calvin Ridley seems to hurt the Shield's money.
Hurt that pocket.
While y'all look at the DeShaun Watson situation as it being a organizational issue.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, make it make sense. Because for what we've read, this been going on with Brady for 2-3 years.
For years.
And which questions the credibility of the sport. Because y'all do realize if people don't watch the sport don't make money, NFL goes bankrupt. So now what you're doing, you creating a situation where every close game is going to be heavily scrutinized. Because now you're going to look at it like, oh, were the refs involved too in some of these games? But I digress, What's your thoughts on that, Ant?
Well, it's just like what we were talking about earlier, man. Like, since it's everybody's golden boy, they try to sweep it under the rug. They don't really want to talk about it because it might ruffle somebody's feathers, but yesterday when the DeShaun situation happened, everybody was flooding the timeline with reports.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going on today? It's quiet. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Got to drop.
Y'all got to look. Y'all got to pick a side, man. It's. I'm all about integrity and standing tall on your own 2 feet, and I'm not going to hate on somebody else because of what they got. I'm trying to worry about what I got.
Well, here's the funny thing about it. These situations span about 6 teams. So now what you got to look at is what's going to happen with the rest of the season.
There we go.
Because y'all do know that this Tom Brady thing, it don't just affect the teams. It affects betting in Vegas. It affects the corporate sponsors and all of that. And if you notice, this is why you don't hear too much about it. ESPN ain't said nothing. Fox Sports ain't said nothing. These content creators ain't said nothing. Y'all had a field day. Y'all had a field day with Ridley and Watson. What's the deal?
Yep.
But while we're on that subject, and wait a minute, let's get some. Let's get to this next topic here. Oh, wait a minute, that ain't it. Hit that off, man. Here we go. DeShaun Watson suspended 6 games. Now, I know Mike spoke on this and everything, and we gonna get on it. Not gonna be in it too long. But
why? I think we got a special guest on the
oh,
building.
there we go. The man, the myth, the legend himself, the professor has graced our show. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I more got summoned. That's all good,
hey,
though.
everybody. Noah Tyndale, the professor. Noah, before we go on to the next topic, man, what do you think about this breaking news?
About the Dolphin situation?
Yeah, man, the Brady and Dolphin situation.
Now, I honestly haven't learned a whole lot about it. I spent a lot of this morning setting myself for like a job interview.
Okay.
So I just take time in that. I was trying to listen to it like on my way, like walking home from that. So I didn't catch a whole lot of it, but it was like featuring a bunch of tampering that went on for a couple of years. That featured like the involvement of Brady. I'm not sure in what capacity, but maybe you guys can catch up on that. Okay, so the thing says there's a restricted first-round pick, third-round pick. Stephen Ross could find $1.5 million, and Sean Payton too. I remember Sean Payton being involved in like some sort of Dolphin stories about being like some sort of like partial owner or whatever. But yeah, there's
from what it was stated, it started in 2019, and pretty much from what I gather, what was happening is Brady was trying to do way too much, like trying to be like the president, then flip over and retire and come back. And during the season, he was trying to get in contact with like Sean Payton, so they can kind of like team up as far as getting on, as far as going to Miami Dolphins. And Roger Goodell and them had to admit that the acts that were done were egregious. Like they had never seen this level of straight up shadiness. I mean, it was like what, 2 pages worth of stuff, and then Adam Schefter was still tweeting when it broke. So it kind of fills in the timeline as to like why Brady had to leave New England, and kind of pulls into why Sean Payton kind of just dipped on the New Orleans Saints.
The time of these events are rather different, though. By the way, just gonna touch on this comment. I am clear COVID, tested negative.
Cool.
Yesterday, I would not have gotten that chance to schedule the interview this morning if it wasn't for that. So I'm completely back to normal. My friends last night that I was with said that they saw like a little bit of my face got slimmed down. I can't really tell because this is not the most flattering of camera angles, but yeah, everything is good, back to normal. I'm just gonna basically permanently have a cough problem, but that's beside the point. Point is, now I was wondering about the Brian Flores situation on top of it,
right?
Because he plays a big factor in a lot of this, because he was like the main antithesis of like trying to rat these people out, but for a good cause. Like he was rallying the troops of his own team, making sure that, hey, like we're not tanking, like we're gonna go 5-11 with Ryan Fitzpatrick if it means my freaking career.
Right.
And we're gonna do everything in our power to make sure that we're still good as a team, despite everything else that's going on. And that is bold. Like the more that we figure out about what Brian Flores was doing and what he was dealing with at the same time, That is incredible, because it doesn't seem like the organization above him was really helping him out at all anymore.
Mm-mm.
So you have that situation. You have Brady trying to get in the mix as, like you said, like a partial owner or a partial manager, president, some major authoritative figure. I don't know why he would even consider that sort of position. Like, that doesn't seem like him. He's an athletic competitor. He's not a businessman. And then Sean Payton on top of that, like having an extra, like, more power to his name, like that. These guys don't seem like they would fit that role. So it's like, not only are you getting these like names or these figures, but you're also putting them in a worse position than what they're good at.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What?
you can't even try to cheat right.
Okay.
Well, see, the thing is, here's the deal, and I equate this to the game that we played last season. What happens every time Brady looks like he's going to get beat by us? What does they do? They panic and they just start doing anything. It's like all hands on deck. Like when we were getting ready to win that game, he was in panic mode. And what did BA do? Oh, we're gonna send the house because we know they can't stop him. If you watch any game that Brady played, even when he played the Aints, when they was beating the snots out of him, they get to a point where they panic. And I was mentioning this earlier in the chat. Brady at one point in time was the face of the league. So if that's your cash cow, you want to make sure that you keeps bringing in money. So certain people get to certain points where they get desperate and want to do whatever it takes to win. Period. And if they can get away with stuff, because you look how many times Brady done been in some stuff. How many times Sean Payton done been in some stuff and they just swept it under the rug. All these scandals and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because why? He's the face of the franchise. He's the face of the NFL.
Yep.
You're going to give him more leeway than anybody else because he makes you money. Until he stops making you money, that leeway is going to be there. But then it gets to a point where what you're doing is going to cause the NFL to lose money. Now y'all got to do something. And that's why people are looking at this situation as being hypocritical, because it is. Like I got
Sorry, I got something real quick. Just breaking news on the spot. OBJ is going to make a deal with the Colts.
Yeah, I just seen it too.
Now, he still has his ACL to deal with, but like, you know, he'll probably come back in like November.
Yeah.
Make it's a late December run, basically.
Yeah, it's still a big pickup for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you already know Matt Ryan with him up.
But watch out with that running game.
And they said that Matt Ryan can't attract talent. Okay.
Oh.
But you know what though? But Millie Mills, he makes a good point. That's what we were talking about.
Yep.
Once you kill the credibility of the sport and no one else believes that the sport is random instead of rigged, you lose the game. You lose the entire NFL, period.
And we know how much they value that.
That ties into what I was saying about the DeShaun Watson thing and the Ridley thing. The reason why those two things are handled differently, because they knew that the Texans had a hand in that, but they look at it as an isolated incident that the blame falls on the team, the organization. You look bad. We're just going to have to do something about you trying to make us look bad. Ridley gambling is like, no, you're making us look bad. So we're going to have to take care of you immediately, because people
somehow they split the league from the teams and like talked about them as like different franchises, which I mean, I guess it's true, but like in terms of legal terms, they kind of wrap this whole situation in a bunch of like different small contracts, which yes, it does make sense for some celebrities to sign those contracts, but it's like, it's never in a threatening manner. At least it shouldn't be in a threatening manner like it was with him. You know, he was being like really aggressive more than passive when it comes to having those women sign those contracts in order for them to be quiet about this whole situation. And it's really like just disgusting the more you read into it.
Yeah, and I got it. I got it pulled up right here. You know, good and well, you don't talk to any team about anything during the season or why a coach has a job. You know that.
Exactly.
You know that. And I look at it as Brady got to the point where in his career, like, well, I'm gonna build me a super team and then I'm gonna bow out. How, bruh? Really? Really? You that desperate to get one more ring that you gonna threaten the credibility of the sport itself?
I guess
See, well, people not paying attention. This not only impacts just the men. This impacts the Saints organization, the Patriots organization, and Tampa Bay and Miami.
Yep. Everybody.
So now you got 4 different teams, which the Patriots are kind of like on the back end of it, but you got 4 different teams now. You're gonna be getting the side out when you play them.
That's outside of Cleveland. That's outside of Houston. That's outside of Washington. That's outside of like.
Hey, this thing goes deep, man.
And then that means now look at this. If you really want to be nitpicky about it, that also goes for every championship and every Super Bowl play. Because now you got to question the level of how y'all won those.
Yep.
Especially the ones that were close.
Divisional game.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I mentioned to Mike, anytime somebody does something foolish like this, when they try to correct it, it hurts the league on the back end. Because now what you do is you're going to hamper the players, or you're going to hamper teams' normal operating ability because of this. Because now you're tightening up the rules so certain teams won't be able to move the same way.
And Tony White's like, hey, let's throw Denver in it while we're at it.
Yep.
I mean, why you think they was putting clauses? You saw the clause thing on Kyler Murray. You saw what kind of backlash that brought. So now they're going to start heavily watching these playoff games to make sure that stuff ain't being called wrong. People ain't being. You're going down a rabbit hole that ain't nobody in the NFL gonna be able to benefit from at all. And Brian Flores, in my opinion, Brian Flores probably had a small inkling of what was going on and was getting ready to really say what he wanted to say. And you see how they kind of died that down too. Because ain't no way in the world you're gonna be in an organization like that and not know something. You may not have been in prayer. You may not have been front seat to all the foolishness, but you knew something was going on.
Yeah, you've been in that building long enough.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You might not have been involved, but you can't turn the blind eye to everything. Come on.
Come on now.
You got to have working eyes in those hallways, or working ears.
Right. You know good and well you done been in the office setting where you done walk past a couple conversations that you was not in the room with.
You decided to do a double take.
Right. Let's jump to this next topic, which is kind of like parallel with that, which is this right here. So now you got to take a look at this again, because remember, the judge gave the ruling on the suspensions, but the NFL has the ability to appeal.
Yeah, they have a few days for that. It's still not like the official final decision. That's what a lot of people consider it to be. It could be more than this, obviously. I don't know how you consider less, but more money could be added to a fine. You could add more different type of clauses, like what they were saying about like the whole the club only massages or whatever that he was like trying to attack onto there. Like there's different things that they can do. Like this is not done, and this is like the next day they have something else that's also major. Like I don't know if they're trying to sweep this news under the rug like that quickly and just like drop this today for that reason, and just like, hey, let that be old news. Like, hey, Out of sight, out of mind. Let's talk about this situation that doesn't seem as bad because it just feels like a bunch of like players and people you don't know. This feels like a bunch of money that you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know who's in control of this, and you don't know like the story behind everything. With the Watson news, it's all allegations, but we have so much evidence, we have so much story, we have so much like context to everything. You know, like we have names of women, like we have businesses, we have locations, we have messages, we have so many things at our disposal from just like a public perspective. This one is just like, sure, if you care about the Dolphins, then yeah, you're going to be greatly concerned. But this doesn't seem like a widespread, like that every team or that every fan base should care about this. So I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to solve some sort of distraction.
That's no, that's a good point because you got to look at it. And I got a question too. Now, if you watched, DeShaun Watson situation was up front, and it was just the outrage of the suspensions.
Yep.
And they really didn't focus on what the league was going to do per se, but it was like, okay, well, we're waiting to see what they do. Because this Brady situation has now come to light, what's going to happen, what's happening is, oh, well, we need to focus back on DeShaun Watson and what we're going to do to rectify this versus us focusing on the fact that we now have found out that our face of our franchise is a scumbag. We're going to try it. And I'm this is just me thinking as a tactician. Now what you're going to try to do is throw him under the bus and throw the book at him so that you can save face when you got to answer, when you finally decide to answer with this Brady crap. Because what it's going to look like is, okay, how in the world have you been letting this man get away with this? These men get away with this all this time, but you going to go soft on this cat over here. I'm telling you, pay very close attention to what they do because that's going to be that, well, we'll possibly use you as a scapegoat. Because they can't let that ride. They can't let the Calvin Ridley stuff ride and then and they don't do nothing about Brady. Because now you got sponsors and everybody else looking at you like, okay, bro, what's going on? And that's why it came out earlier today, and then it's quietly being tucked away. Nobody's talking about it. Like literally an hour after it came out, Twitter and nobody was talking about it.
Silent.
Nothing. Not news, not social media, not content creators, not nothing.
Seems like it's working too well.
Oh, it's not gonna go away. It's that let us get our stuff, let us get our lives together and figure out who we gonna place the blame on.
Yep.
Remember how many fingers you have pointing back at you?
Hey. I'm just saying, and it's a real sticky situation. I mean, I was reading the article, I was like, God, really? And the fact is, it's not just one person. It's like several people, and it's like, okay, well, organizations knew about it, agents knew about it, and they went with it.
Yep.
So you roasting these two guys, and now you oh well, they got to save face. So somebody is going to get sacrificed.
Well, that's obviously the guy that got fined $1.5 million, and there's clearly going to be a ripple effect from this. There should be. There's no way he's the only person that knows.
Oh no.
Control.
No.
He's got to talk to someone about this.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is,
he's just the first person that got caught.
Yeah, but the audacity. Exactly. First of all, the audacity for you to even be associated, like, bro, you got rings. What else you got to prove? You got everybody on your back. You got the media love you and this, that, and the other. If you sneeze, they calling you the best thing since sliced bread. But I'm like, go how? Ghost don't do this.
Nope.
Wait. And I'm just gonna put it out there. The rest in power to the late great Bill Russell, did you see him acting a damn fool? He got 11 rings.
Nope.
What's the excuse?
Did his best to keep himself out of trouble all that time.
Like how? And how can I believe anything that Tampa does now? And I'm look,
except maybe their injury reports because
bro, that man, look, you know what? Since Noah brought that up, since the professor brought that up, I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get to this next topic because this is it's gonna be a fun one. The state of the NFC South.
Mm.
And I'm gonna let you start this one off.
Look, man, we've been talking about this for I would say like at least a month now, and people, they want to sleep on us. They want to say that we don't have any big names. We haven't signed anybody. We didn't really draft anybody that they wanted. So we're just going to be, like one of those pissy teams that's just going to, show up to the game. But, and this is going to kind of segue into the next topic that we have. We've only had like a couple of injuries this offseason, whereas everybody else has at least three other injuries. So, and we're starting to get familiar with what we're trying to do on defense and on offense, special teams as well. And we're we trying to instill this toughness that Dean Pease wants and Arthur Smith. So we're gonna. I like us being under the radar because we're gonna take teams by surprise that didn't think we was gonna be anything in the first place.
I'm already sorry to catch up, but I'm already starting to see NFL, like their YouTubes, like slowly giving us more wins.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like now they're predicting, now you're 4-13. Like, do you realize in that prediction they have us beating the Chargers, but they have us losing to the Bears?
Right, come on.
Like, if you're gonna beat, like, at least be consistent with the teams you're gonna give us the wins to. Seahawks, I understand. Browns before Watson, I understand. Panthers, I obviously understand. Chargers, that was a surprise to me. Like, that was like one of the AFC West best teams. Well, obviously every team you can say that for, but one of the AFC's best teams that they like to flaunt around. And then it's like, no, but you're gonna lose to Washington though. You're gonna lose the next game right afterwards to Carolina. No, you're gonna lose to Pittsburgh. No, you're gonna lose to, like I said, Chicago. Like, come on, man.
And not to say we gonna take any teams lightly. That's not what we saying. But here's my issue, and I'm gonna go down. First of all, the Carolina Panthers. Y'all ain't got y'all quarterback situation straight. And from the looks of y'all training camp,
trash.
Try it again next year. Okay.
There's 3 people in rotation now. Most bad teams just have 2.
Right. Not to mention Mayfield in the training camp was throwing interceptions. So please tell me what part of that means we gonna lose to them. Now I guess if we go in there and take them for a joke, maybe, but it's highly unlikely. I don't see it. I'm sorry. The Aints. 5 out of y'all. I mean, a good portion of y'all offense is injured. I mean, please.
Trying to come, limping back from them.
I mean, what you got 60 for 60 injured. You got Slant Thomas injured. You got other wide receivers injured. Smoke Monday. Like, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Jarvis
Hey.
Landry is like 32 at this point.
Yeah. You ain't got Sean Payton. Like, what are you talking about right now? Really? And okay, just for kicks and giggles, let's go to Tampa. You ain't got Sue. Tristan Wright just got carted off the field. Gronk is gone. JPP is gone. Your quarterback is a sleazeball.
Well, you know what? Since I have this, boom. All right. So here is the Tampa Bay schedule, because some people have them going around like 10-7 or something. I thought I saw a comment. Maybe it was like us going 10-7. Okay. So if someone's saying that we can go 10-7, all right, let's take a look at the top team in the division, if you will. All right, let's take a look at the first game at Dallas. All right, how are we feeling?
I feel that's a win.
Yeah.
Win for Tampa. Okay, we'll give them that. At New Orleans.
Right about now with the injuries and the people out, they probably get them.
Yeah,
I would say split. It depends on who comes back the second time they play. So I would say split with New Orleans.
Okay, so we'll give them this win here because they don't do well against New Orleans at their own spot for some reason. Week 3 Packers.
No.
If Aaron Rodgers got his head together and they run that offense the way they're supposed to, they should. It's going to be a problem against. They're gonna give Tampa a problem.
Okay, I'm gonna count that as the record being 2-1. Next week, Kansas City.
2-2.
Woo.
2-2. All right, whatever we are, we see this Bucs team as 2-2.
Yep.
By the time they get to us, they're 2-2. All right, supposedly from our.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So after that, we don't even have to talk about that one. All right, Pittsburgh. All right, we can probably chalk that up as a win, depending on how the pass rush goes for them. Like I said, they don't have Tristan Wirfs.
Right.
So TJ Watt might wreak havoc just on his own.
Mm-hmm.
That might be all you need. Panthers, I don't really think we need to discuss this. Baltimore at this stage, late October, Baltimore.
They may give him a fit.
Yeah.
Have you seen Lamar Jackson? He looked like they stole the rims off his truck and he had about it. Dude and bulked up. Their defense can do what they got to do. They may be a problem for them.
If he's anything like he is on Twitter, he's about to get a lot more meaner.
I hope so.
Obviously, you have the Rams. All right. Rams gave him fits twice.
Yeah.
Like they beat them twice last season.
Yeah. We ain't already discussed that. That's a
we can see that. All right. So now we have at least like 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're all 4-4 at least, not even counting our game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They head to the Seahawks. Sure, they can take care of them. They're 5-4, not counting us. At Cleveland, DeShaun Watson is at this stage of time, he's back.
Yeah.
That's late in the season, right?
Yeah, this is well after week 7 or whatever.
Okay. But that's a maybe, because if he hasn't had time to build the chemistry with that team, that's going to be a toss-up, because it's going to come down to how well the offense plays together.
Yeah, Russ can clearly show Tampa's coming off of a bye. I think we know what this team does when it comes off of a bye. Although, coaching staff has changed a little bit, so we don't know how well they adjust differently as opposed to what they did previously. New Orleans, I think we split this one up, but we give them this one a loss. So now they're about like 6-5. Okay, at San Francisco.
Honestly, it's gonna come down to Shanahan and whichever quarterback shows up. That's what it's gonna come down to with them, because The 49ers can get on a roll because they just re-signed what's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
Or Debo?
Oh, Debo.
Yeah. They just re-signed Debo Samuel. So it's gonna come down to Shanahan and whoever is gonna show out at quarterback.
Yeah, and that defense.
That's what it's gonna come down to.
There, if Kittle's there, if Elijah Mitchell's starting, like you can take the quarterback away from that situation, they can still possibly win this game.
Yeah.
And I don't even like this 49ers team. But I'm willing to take one for the team just so that benefits ours.
Right.
All right, right after that. All right, because Cincinnati.
I would say their defense is probably gonna would make a difference in that game. How much pressure they can get on Shady Brady?
They can definitely get on that because they were among like the most improved in terms of like pressure rate. Late season Cardinals, I don't really trust them, but they might put up a fight in one of these games. Just randomly. Yeah. Carolina at this stage, they don't really have anything else to prove. And then you have us again.
Now, that in itself is going to determine on their end, not our end. It's going to determine what kind of gas they got left in the tank. Because by the time we face them again, the Falcons going to be a well-oiled machine. Who's going to be here is going to have played already. Whoever's going to have to go through trial by fire, we would have already gone through that period of adjustment. And like I said, with the weapons,
I think they might be getting Chris Godwin back at some point in this stint of time. So we might have to keep that in mind.
Yeah. No. We're going to have to – the Falcons are going to have to bring everything at Tampa. But the thing I keep reminding people is what got us – what two things beat us last season, which was that front seven, which they don't have everybody on their front seven no more, and that we couldn't stop Gronk. When Brady started seeing that, hey, they really trying to get at me, he was throwing them balls. Gronk was running us over left and right because we had nobody to stop him. They don't have Gronk. So now the dynamic of that game changes because now it's going to come down to can our defense make those timely stops? Because I'm going to be honest, I don't see nobody on their defense that's going to be able to handle everybody on our offense.
Especially not that secondary. There was already like a bit shady to begin with.
Yeah. So I just don't see that. Like with the way Pitts and them doing right now, and a well-oiled machine, and you done played almost the whole season. It's gonna be whoever bring that A game. But Brady, and then two, you got to think if we get that pressure on Brady like we're supposed to, game over.
I'm gonna say for this scenario we split them.
Okay.
Right? Take us to which one you want. All right. So let's recap. Okay, we have 1 loss, 2 loss, possibly 3 loss, 4 loss, possibly 5 loss, 6 loss, 7 loss, 8 loss, 9 loss. Whoa. Whoa. All right. But something doesn't seem right. And also we talked about Dallas. We talked about us possibly sweeping them. We aren't. Cardinals can give them a fight. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be a cakewalk because we all know during the offseason they lost a lot of their core players that helped set up the instances with which they won those games. And a lot of them, everybody saw the blueprint of how the Saints took apart Tampa. So you got to think they took apart Tampa with those players, and don't think everybody ain't been studying it. So now you got to imagine you have 4 or 5 less players that's on your squad that was in that 2021 season. So you got to think, y'all got to either come up with a new scheme, and remember, B ain't on the field no more. That's what I'm saying. The internal workings, a lot of these teams have shifted, so they're gonna get a reality check. They're gonna get an early reality, and then with this foolishness,
that's an extra distraction in the locker room. I can say that much.
Right.
And that's from the top dude in the organization, basically.
Damn.
That was now supposed to be like leading the charge for another team in the same state.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's gonna segue into this next topic here, which man, this right here is laughable at best. Jeff Schultz says Falcons have decided not to cut linebacker DeShaun Jones, but a source said believing he won't be a distraction to the team and salary cap. This disturbed me because earlier he was saying how the Falcons were looking at him because, they were basing his attitude and money versus his performance. And what I call crap. I call straight crap. Because
if you're going to say that in an article or however he addressed this, do you have footage? You have video evidence.
Thank
you. Have practice clips.
Yep.
Share them. This is your evidence. All you have to do is just let us know what you're seeing in order to make this click in your head.
Yep.
Because if you don't, it's all just speculation from one source. There's no one else backing you up in the story. That D-Lad or someone else would be chomping at the bits to get the story like this.
Hold on. Let me put this. Let me see if I can. All right. Hold up. Go back. Let me go back. Hold up. Let's move this thing up. Where's that one at, Ant?
Was it this?
I think so, yeah. Hold on, because my phone didn't flipped up.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. That's like, to me, that's like straight disrespectful because first of all, what you're doing is you're trying the actual man himself and his integrity based on his performance due to an injury. Instead of just stating the obvious that, they're looking at that for, he's rehabbing and whatnot. It's like they couldn't even get the reason why the man didn't get as many interceptions last year right. Which I keep telling people, when you step back to help a teammate, certain things drop off. Yeah. Mike has said it. We've all said it. He was helping out Foyer. How many times did they come at Foyer and try to knock his block off last year?
And you know why we say it? Because Dean Pease said it.
Exactly. Thank you, Noah. Damn.
An actual source from the organization. We're only saying this because we trust the source because they said it in press conferences. He switched positions. They had injury reports. There's things that he needed to learn as the second Mike linebacker in the defense. Obviously, that defense was not fully comprehensive as far as the playbook and how far they were willing to go with it. So sacrifices had to be made as far as what to do, how to teach them, what to cut out, what to speed up, what to write, how to teach these folks. Dean Pease is very particular when it comes to that kind of stuff. He's very player dependent. Yep. And he wanted to showcase Foyer.
Yep.
He loved how smart he was. He loved his playbook retention or whatever. He loved his IQ and wanted to take advantage of that, and he did. And all that was I think it gave him a better contract than what DeShaun Jones has right now.
Right.
He played himself into a better contract than his other teammate. Which, he got the bag already. So, hey, let's pop up this 6th-round draft pick that was a former safety out of Yale, and let's give him a career. Whether he stays with us, that's his decision. But the fact is that we did the best we could for him. We put him in a we put him in a position to succeed where he wasn't able to at his best in the past. Because he was solid in 2019, he was solid in 2020, but he really stood out. Like, he was the breakout player of the defense last year. Like, and that's not even counting AJ Terrell. Like, we were all surprised at what Foya was able to do for us.
Yeah.
So because of that, the attention gets away from Dion. He's okay with that.
Right.
Like, you don't see him complaining about, like, well, let's take a look at my snaps. Let's take a look at my. That's an attitude problem. If he can't take the diminished role of a leader, no, he's willing to share that role. This defense last year would not have happened if he wasn't willing to share the role. So give him his respect. He gave another man a massive contract for another team.
Yep. And that's the thing. And see, I keep telling people they're playing chess, not checkers. And with anybody that knows about injuries, Deion Jones has if we got a compound joint that you injure, it takes longer to heal. But that doesn't diminish him as a player. He just got to have more time to heal up and get himself right so he can get acclimated back to the game. It doesn't mean he's a bad player. And then you got to think about it. You need that veteran presence on the defense. So it's just one of those things where, in my opinion,
you want to talk about someone else that was like, what the heck happened to me?
You all right? You done win in the Predator mode? And
camera went through a hurricane or something.
And got Predator mode on the camera.
Yeah, what I was saying is, like, you want to talk about a player on our team that might have questionable attitude issues or about, like, wanting to be on the team. Why don't you take a look at Calvin Ridley? He says he really wants to play. He definitely wants to play. But then again, you take a look at, like, his history. Has he shown any clips of him, like, doing footwork drills?
No.
Has he shown any sort of, like, practice sessions?
No.
Or was I able to see, like, a couple of accounts of him, like, giving, like, Call of Duty Warzone codes for, like, private play sessions or whatever? Or was I able to spot, like, him, like, retweeting stuff about the Broncos? Or was I able to spot him responding to clips of people like using his character wrong in Madden? Or was I able to spot basically everything else outside of the team?
Right.
There was not a single quote of him wanting to be a Falcon, wanted to show any Falcons content, any sort of support. Did he like anything as far as, like, a tweet or something or post that the Falcons have put out ever since in this past couple of months? No.
He been butthurt. That's what it is. I mean,
he wants to play, but at the same time, I think he's just saying that just so he can be relevant because his name popped up with the DeShaun Watson case yesterday.
Yep. And that's gonna all forever be a touchy subject until, said time. Because to be honest with you, yeah, he would want to come back and play because it's easy now. You ain't number one. You don't have to be number one. You would be a situational player. You
got such less money because of the Falcons' decision. You allowed the Falcons the time to replace you.
Right.
I bet you regret that.
Yeah. And I believe he ain't saying nothing too, because it's like, bro, you don't need to lessen your value anymore. Let it be. Just be cool. Just be cool. But I know we're coming up on an hour here. Let's go ahead and hop into this next topic, and then we'll get into our Q&A. What's going on, Night Rider? What's going on?
What it is, man, what it is, y'all. I had to wake up, man. You know, when you've been fighting big bread for 8 hours a day, dog, you got to get your rest in, man. What's going on?
What we gonna do is we just giving them the hors d'oeuvres part of the thing before the main course. Start off at 8. So
Right.
want to get you guys thoughts on this 2022 NFL training camp around the league. I got a good list of stuff, but first of all, we're gonna give it up to our man Knight Rider. What you think about the training camps, man? That been going around on the league. If you've been keeping up with them,
Man, hey, I've been seeing Tampa Bay been getting snake bit like hell. They've been getting snake bit, dog. It's gonna be real interesting to see what they gonna look like up front with that offensive line, man. Brady, I think Brady trying to downplay everything, man. No excuses. Yeah, you worried. Your main center gone. A lot of your pieces them left in free agency. Mr. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. back there getting a little shaky. I love it.
Well, Noah just went over. We just went over the chart on their possible, hypothetical wins or losses, and
yeah,
it ain't gonna be a cakewalk like everybody thinks.
We know that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so that's one win. That's one loss. That's 2 losses. That's 3. That's 4.
Yeah.
That's 5. That's 6. That's 7, 8, 9. What? 9? I was able to count to 9. Well, maybe it's because of their offensive line. I mean, like you talked about, they lost a center to injury. They's probably gone for the rest of the season. Probably the same thing happens to their right tackle. Their guard, Ali Marpet, retired early.
Yeah.
And then they got the other guard to replace him in Shaq Mason. That Tony Wright likes to mention about how Grady Jarrett just whooped his butt in the Super Bowl, and now he was apparently worth a 7th-round pick from New England. So who's to say about his value as far as that's concerned? But you have 4/5 of your O line that needs patching up. That should be fine enough, right?
Right.
Get the ball out quickly enough, right? As you throw to what was his name? Oh yeah, Kyle Rudolph. That's your replacement for Gronk.
That's a downgrade, dog. Kyle Rudolph, good. He ain't Gronk, man.
As you throw down the field to, he just had an injury, Julio Jones.
Come on, Julio.
Don't worry. We have his better guy in Mike Evans. Don't worry. And then you can hand the ball off to the dude that was like brushing his teeth during practice, and Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit weird.
Hey, Noah, before you get finished, man, I want to pick up this question. It said, Chris Beaver said, what's y'all early prediction records for the season for the Falcons and the rest of the division? I'm going right now.
It's damn more than 2 wins.
I'm gonna go with 10, man. I'm gonna go with 10. Reason being, because when you got coaches fired up and you got players wanting to play and they're fired up, they enjoy what they do, and they're gonna go out there and give they all, that's a different type of team. That's a different beast. And when you got people that believe in themselves, that's a totally different beast than what you used to playing with. The team may look the same, the players may look like they're not ready. That's a different beast when you all on one page.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
And you ain't got nothing to lose. Like, our backs against the wall.
We play on high money, man.
They're gonna come out swinging. So I'm going with 10. I'm like Tony Wright. I'm going with 10 and 7.
Yeah.
So if we want to take a look at it.
Yeah. I was just going to pull the schedule up. Let's go.
All right. So we have after our 1-0 start, we have week 2.
I don't think we're gonna get that one, dog. That's
talking about the Rams.
It's a tough fight. It's understandable if we lose that one. Okay, we have
that's
the NFL.
Yeah, that's gonna be that any given Sunday type scenario right there.
Yeah.
Right. All right. If we show enough fight like we do in practice, we have a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if we lose. I wouldn't be surprised if we win. It's just one of those. It's just one of those games. Seattle, even NFL is giving us this one. Cleveland, even the NFL is giving us this one. All right.
Yeah, that's.
Then we have, like I said, we have a conversations with Tampa. By this point, we're also about 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we're on even footing as far as like the schedule is concerned so far. By the time that we first meet each other,
Yeah,
That's a get back. But see,
no. At 3-1, we're actually 3-1.
yeah, that's a get back game with Tampa. See, remember, most of the teams we playing, we got to get back because those are the teams that kept us out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And Tampa, we almost beat Tampa last year, and y'all sent the house. Y'all don't have that cushion no more.
Yeah.
You sit in the house if you want to. If y'all been paying attention, Mariota gonna make you pay for it.
Okay.
And in the very next game, another team that kept us out. We have them at home, our new helmets.
Yeah.
We better have our home crowd there. We better have them.
Yeah. But that's gonna come down to
week 1. They're probably gonna be there for week 4 because this whole like, oh man, well you probably wouldn't have won if you had Watson or whatever kind of crap they want to pull that week. Then you have this game where it's like, okay, well yeah, now we have an actual opponent. Now we have a pedigree of wins under our belt. Now you probably need to take it seriously. Okay, next week at Cincinnati. Now you gotta remember at this stage in Cincinnati, last year they got destroyed at home by Cleveland.
Yep.
Yeah.
The score was 41-16.
Yep.
That was after Baker Mayfield injured his shoulder again after the Cardinals game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we win just based off of that alone, but I'm saying this team is a bit vulnerable at times. Like, we could catch them on an off day, especially, again, if we have a run like this. Okay?
Yeah.
Fine. You want to talk off as a loss? I wouldn't be too mad at that. Carolina, boom. Los Angeles.
Win.
Somehow the NFL is giving us this win. I'm going to agree with the NFL. Carolina again, boom. All right, I don't care that they're wearing all black here. And that's not going to make them play better.
Hey,
that's the
you
Jets
tell you why
whenever
they
they
wearing
put the
all
uniforms
black?
on.
The reason why Carolina wearing all black for that game, they going to their own funeral.
I know that.
Might as well be promoting that. Then Chicago. Come on, guys. Chicago.
No.
First of
They're
all,
literally trying to get rid of their offensive line.
first of all, y'all better find a way to protect y'all quarterback. And they have already said this dude is going to lead. They're predicting this dude to lead the NFL in interceptions. You gonna try that crap against the line we got? Good luck with that.
The secondary that we have?
Good luck with that.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck with that.
Speaking of secondary, then we have Carson Wentz and their 2 fans that showed up in training camp.
I know. Not one, but 2.
2
whole people.
Those.
Okay, so now we have this stretch of games, right? Now we have Carolina, we have Los Angeles, we have Carolina again, we have Chicago, we have Washington. Right there is 5 games in a row. Yeah. Say what you want about Pittsburgh, but we are on a hot streak going into our bye week. And then guess who we have again?
Damn.
Then you have Baltimore.
Yeah,
like this is our basically like Saturday Christmas game.
That may or may not be a fight.
In the snow.
Yeah, like I said, that may now I'm gonna tell you that may or may not be a fight because just like Buffalo, we're gonna have to by that time that run game gonna have to be A1.
It gotta be.
It's gonna be but to what gives us a slight leveling is the fact that we have a defensive person who already played there. You know what I'm saying? He already coached. So he knows their tendencies.
Yeah.
And that will help
Dean
Arthur
Pease
Smith.
knows John Harbaugh like the back of his hand.
That's what I'm saying. And that will help Arthur Smith come up with schemes to kind of combat that.
That's right after that game, however you want to think about that, you have late season Arizona.
Oh, yeah, you know what the Cardinals do late in the season, boy, they just fall apart.
And Kyler Murray ain't happy with that team anyway. So you already got to think. Your quarterback looking side-eye at your team.
Yeah, you got a quarterback that doesn't even want to do homework. That'd rather play with his FaZe Clan or whatever. Okay, Tampa Bay won last time.
Right.
This is end-all, be-all. Hey, we prove ourselves. We are the division leaders.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we do it. That game right there.
Yep.
Tickets as low as $62. My behind. That's going to climb up soon.
I know, right? I'm still
Now-
stuck on that the Commanders only had 2 people at the damn at the training camp. 2.
Now this is interesting right here. AJ Evans said we split the Saints, beat the Panthers twice, beat the Seahawks, and beat the Bears. I'm like, I hate to say it, I'm gonna go on a limb and say right now, it on paper, it ain't gonna be no split with no Saints because they missing too many critical people right now. Their so-called quarterback is still unquestionable.
Yeah, he too busy.
They got a lot of offensive players that is questionable. And just like we know from last season, if you got a third of your offense on the field, you in trouble. Especially if you don't got no depth at it. None of them positions.
Hey, somebody who in charge of the Falcons catering, man? When the Saints come to town, tell them y'all make sure y'all leave Jameis Winston a big ass pot of crab legs in his locker.
Hey, Big N, how many people on the Saints offense was injured?
At least 3.
At least 3.
All right,
And Jameis can't really know.
Well,
That's not even including the 2 that retired. So I mean, come on.
And y'all don't have Sean Payton. This is what I keep telling people. Just because you train under a coach does not mean you're going to perform like that coach.
See
Eric
Mangina. See Eric Mangina.
Just because Belichick came off of the Bill Parcells tree does not mean Bill Belichick coached like Parcells. He learned from him. It's a difference.
Or Matt Patricia.
Right. It's a difference. It's a difference. It's a difference. They don't handle what you got to understand is when you're in the situation, handling football is what sets you apart.
Oh yeah.
Period. And I hate to say it, y'all don't have that dude gonna come up with plays like that. And then on top of that, you gotta have Payton and Breeze with one mind all season.
Yep. Dennis Allen and Jameis ain't gonna cut it, though. I'm calling it now.
60 for 60 ain't gonna cut it. Because we all know you give him any kind of pressure, it's going to the other team.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
And then and with the kind of defense we got,
Those errant throws, man. That's all it takes.
And please, by all means, if you think you're gonna throw a deep ball, good luck with that.
All right.
Nope.
Good luck with that.
Nope. No fly zone.
Yeah. Don't forget Terrell Allen out there. He went nowhere.
And he got some help.
He went nowhere.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh man, check this out. Yeah,
Shout
Tyron
out
said,
Cali, man.
That's what I'm talking. Not too many Falcons in Cali. Hey,
Yeah.
there you go. You out there with the professor, man.
One time for the Falcon fans on the West Coast, man.
One time.
Well, what we're gonna do now? We're gonna get into the. It's about hour 13. We're gonna get into the Q&As. So you guys got any questions y'all want to ask before we get off of here? Because we got the main event coming up.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, this is mild. You about to get some of that habanero later on. So yeah, I need y'all to be ready.
Oh yeah. They come with that ghost pepper later on.
Carolina Reaper.
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh yeah.
Let's see who we got in here. There ain't no Dre the Boxer thing ain't no more Fabian.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, I couldn't stand that man up. Boy, he was terrible. He was terrible. Boy, Fabian, I can't remember how many times I was about to throw my TV out the damn window because Fabian Moreau was messing up. I'm talking about boy, if he would have got bumped one more time, I swear I wouldn't. I'd be sitting in the dog like this right here on the computer talking to everybody.
There we go. Wallace Smith says, "Do y'all think Wilkinson is going to win that left guard spot?"
I do.
Yeah,
Man,
he
yeah,
already,
I
he
do.
already, he
man,
already, he already
man.
took the spot for Jalen Mayfield, dog. Jalen Mayfield, he getting cooked. He getting cooked in training camp.
The thing is that people are getting upset over Mayfield because he wasn't developing like they thought they would. But
Right.
you got to understand, this regime doesn't care about your upbringing, doesn't care about your pedigree, doesn't care when they took you. If you're not the best person at your position, fine.
Jalen Mayfield put his foot in his mouth. Jalen Mayfield put his foot in his mouth when he made that little tweet before he got drafted. You want the quarterback not to get hit? Pick me.
Pressure, burst pipes, or makes diamonds.
I put it like this. When Jalen Mayfield was in there, boy, Matt Ryan was going down for the count, looking at the ground like B.O.B. say.
Yeah, now Millie Mills.
You can tell that even a guy like Matt Hennessy can look sober finally.
Yeah.
That's got to do something. So the fact that we're not seeing the same results with Jalen Mayfield, that lets you know, hey, Wilkinson's your guy.
You can't get comfortable. Once you've been baptized in fire, you got to keep that edge with you. You can't get comfortable. You got to come in with a mindset of, okay, I played okay last year. I got to get better, because you got hungry people coming in that's not going to play with you. They're going to go, they coming at your throat, and they're going to do what they got to do. And that's what's been happening. So I want to get this question right here. It says, Millie Mills said, who replaces Vincent Taylor? And that's a good question. And as I always say, Arthur Smith and Dean Pease, it's always chess, never checkers. They always got something up their sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Why because they didn't draft and they didn't get a bunch of players in free agency not to have enough depth. But it's always like Rick Swarm said, next man up.
Yeah.
Whether
that's what it is.
You know what? I think it is. Ain't it gonna be Anthony Rush?
Yeah, he's the starter.
Yeah.
Ain't no question about
Rush
that.
Starter,
Oh, trust. Rush, you ain't got to worry about Rush. Rush show out. You see how he's showing out now. He waiting to get on the field. But we are going to need, at this point in the game, we're going to need players that's going to come in and that's going to have that hunger and that's going to be ready to play. You can't be getting ready to get ready. You got to be ready to come in and play. Period. Because we're getting closer to the season. Like the NFL is having their first preseason game this week.
Yep.
That means the fuck up times is running out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really not ready if you ain't ready to give it 120%, what you showing up for?
Yep. All right, let's get to this one right here.
Got one from Blackberry. Who do you think will be the most improved on the defense?
I think gonna be Richard Grant, man.
Man,
I really think it'll be Richard Grant. I got a
strength. The way he's talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be Richard Grant, dog.
Now, like we can obviously give like so many different answers because of how fired up DMPs has been about everyone, right?
Oh,
He's like, who gives a crap anymore about the 15th best defense?
Oh yeah,
he
said that shit over with,
or give me nothing at all. He's going big or he's going home. All right, this isn't even like the year where we were supposed to be good, quote unquote.
Right.
This was our observational. This was our evaluation year. This was to test the waters of what we can do as a group.
Yeah.
And we're already starting to see the push. We're already starting to see the pullback from the aggression.
Mm-hmm.
We're already starting to see the signs that made us different from what we were previous years before.
Yep.
And with this in mind, we can say that whatever thought that we had about a previous player in this previous regime and the previous defense last year, I don't know if that directly translates. So with that being said, I'm going to throw another unusual name in the hat because for a long time he's been deemed as a negative kind of connotation.
Okay.
Eric Harris.
You know what? That's interesting because I mean that's interesting because you saw his presence on the field last season, but what really tarnished it was the fact that he was dropping, interceptions and stuff. He was dropping balls and whatnot. I think you get him more dialed in, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
Very, very smart.
Yeah, he has to. He just got it. He had to get dialed in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
he was already a hard hitting, fast running safety that was able to put himself in positions to make a play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you saw
at the beginning. That's all we needed from him. Right? We were disappointed because he didn't give us more.
Right.
Now, I think he can give us more. And I say this while fully knowing that my previous spot was saying, like, hey, I can see him as a rotational piece with Jalen Hawkins. I think that's good for both of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that keeps them both, like I said, we keep them both fresh. We keep them both versatile. We keep them and make sure that, hey, like this one has different strengths than this one. But it doesn't diminish or it doesn't like let the other or let our opponent know as to what we're doing, as to what our strengths can be. Because it's not like a bunch of teams know what Hawkins is good at yet because we haven't seen his ceiling yet.
Yeah. Right.
So who are they to say, like, well, Hawkins clearly can do this or he clearly can't do this? Like, they can't definitively say that. They have enough snaps of Eric Harris, but guess what? He's also getting a good amount of starting reps. So that stands for something. However we felt about like the progression of Hawkins, I still think he can be good, which is why I want to see them both together.
Kind of like that Debo,
make each other good.
Kind of like Debo and Foyer.
Yeah. Exactly. One might sacrifice his stats just to build the other one up. Eric Harris has made it. You watch his story, you go back to his career interviews. He's made this change. He's happy with his life. And now he needs that final thing to redeem himself.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, he's in a position where he's like the oldest tenured guy in the safety room. He needs to prove that, hey, I'm going to put my experience and I'm going to put all my knowledge to good use. Good reps, bad reps, everything in between. Here's the mistakes I made. Here's how we can both learn from it. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then you shouldn't be on the field. And that's what we're already starting to see.
Let's check this next question. We're probably going to take about 2 more questions. Then we're going to get ready to get off of here. But I want to get this question from KG. He said, how do y'all feel about the run game? And that's a very good question. That's one I wanted to touch on. They had a interview with Tyler Algier, and it was asking him, like, how did he feel about, his position and his performance and everything like that. And, Cat was pretty humble. He understands that he has to get better. He understands he ain't 100% there. But I do know from the footage and everything, this man is a serious asset. But what do you guys think about our wide receiver core at this particular point?
Besides Drake London, it's up in the air for me. I think Brian Neville's gonna be good though. I think that we're gonna make Oakland realize they screwed up for not sticking with him. They didn't give him the opportunity. We know Kyle Pitts gonna do what he gonna do anyway. Hey, Lamide's a kid, bro. You're talking a good game right now. You say you want to be a playoff team. I want to see it on the field. I want to see it. Well, I'm gonna throw you up like I did Julio hamstring. Yeah, you better see it. But I think Drake London gonna make an immediate impact though. Man, shit.
Did y'all see that the post training camp interview with Cordero Patterson?
I did.
I've not, but I have seen stuff from like Tyler Algier and Keith Smith.
Yeah, because I think they said one person on our wide receiving core stood out more so than Tyler Algier. I know Mike and them spoke on him the other day. I can't remember this cat. And
Damian Williams.
yes.
Williams,
They was
yeah.
like Damian
Yeah.
Williams was showing out.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, running back. One for the Chiefs.
yeah. And that translates.
Yeah.
That translates. Because remember how fired up the team got when Cordero finally came out and just did what he did? He started to take over.
Yeah.
That begins to translate. Because you always gonna need that one player in every arena that's going to set the tone for everybody else.
Oh yeah.
And right now,
we gotta watch out for him too.
You're right. And if we're gonna have a good running game, then number one, we're gonna have to have depth. And the boys they're gonna have to have vision. They have to be ready for contact, and they're gonna have to have vision. That's what we lacked. Because people were doing too much thinking and back and forth. Nah, you're gonna have to be north and south with this.
Oh yeah.
And that's what we were surprised at to see how Cordero Patterson was for us. That was literally the two biggest strengths that everyone was saying about Tyler Algier.
Right.
And Avery Williams was surprisingly one of the best return guys just off of like a per return basis because he had vision. Because and that's even worse of a cluster to try to like read. Like you're all chaotic that gets everyone running at full speed.
Yeah.
And like that's not a scrimmaged play. Like that's not a setup. Like that is you and just your basic instincts.
Yeah.
That is what gave Cordero Patterson that confidence to play running back. He's like, dude, this is like even easier for me because I actually know how to read my blocks.
Yeah.
From doing this for like 8 years.
Yeah. And
now
then
you have Avery Williams that has the same thing, did that in college. Demir Bird as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's doing the same thing as he's actually being a wide receiver now. Making those cuts. I think he's like straight up destroyed a man's ankle.
He did.
Let's get this one right here from Wallace Smith. Wallace says, do y'all think Algier will be our starting running back? You know what? I'm gonna have a wait and see because right now it's not looking like it. He might be like he might be running back 3.
Yeah.
I don't see because I will say Damian Williams right now is showing out. So if he continues to show out, then he'll either be 1 or 2, depending on if Smith is going to take and use Cordero Patterson as a wide receiver, or is he just going to be that gadget guy? You know, that's going to heavily depend on that. But I believe they might because, like they said, they don't want him getting a lot of wear and tear. So I'm just going to have that wait and see because the closer you get to preseason, like I said, them preseason games, Arthur Smith said it in his press conference, like the speed of the game and when you're getting tackled, it's a different thing than when you're trying to create scenarios on the field in practice. So I kind of want to wait to see how that's going to translate closer we get to the season. Oh, there we go.
What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Mike?
I just want to remind people that Mr. Brady is a sack of shit. I just wanted to remind people. Yeah, he's a sack of shit. So just in case you guys may have forgotten, I just want to repeat that. Everywhere he goes, he leaves a big stinking, a honking pile of stinking shit. All right, just everywhere he goes.
He didn't go.
Right. I guess it still smells good in those places, but I just want everybody need to know that, okay? Just in case you guys may have forgotten, just understand that's what he is. All right, but seriously tonight, man. We got 6-man K-Star, the 6-man combo. You guys head on over there. Got to get him. I think he's like 13 or 14 away from 1K.
Yeah.
Almost 1K. So gotta get him there, man. He deserved it. And the next mission will obviously be Noah, and Noah probably turning around in his grave right now. Even though he's not dead, I don't know why they say that. But yeah,
Lord have mercy.
hey, I told you, when I come on these shows, I have no fucking clue what I'm gonna say.
They give you a hot mic.
I have no clue.
You pretty much is our Paul Heyman. We just give you
Hey, that's his name.
Hey,
I just say whatever the hell I want to say.
say what the hell you gonna damn say.
They
Here's
ain't
Mike.
called an open mic night for nothing.
Look, man,
But
this is what we talking about. Y'all have no idea what we have in store for the next show because it's not gonna be your run-of-the-mill six-bag K Styles.
it won't.
I want to make
tell
sure.
y'all.
Look,
It's finna be hotter than a sunny day in hell in that motherfucker.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm
Hey
trying to
man,
tell you.
I'm let me say this though. I will say about what I'm seeing with the Falcons now, and we'll kind of go in detail later tonight also, is that there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees that everybody's gonna have a spot. I like that. In particular on the offensive line. And I know a lot of people are wondering whether or not what's going to happen with Jalen Mayfield. I can honestly say I have no clue. And just a few minutes, just last year, people were pointing the finger at Caleb McGarry and saying he was the worst offensive lineman. And here we go. He's not the one that's being replaced. He's actually playing well right now. So, look, it goes to show you that all these people who are perceived to be experts, they don't know what the hell they talking about. Okay, so that's what we always say. We don't damn know. We don't damn know. Okay, that's our motto. We don't damn know.
But what we do know is this phone 99 super
Phone
chat.
99.
You 6'2".
Oh, 99.
Appreciate you. Look, people, make sure you hit the like button, share, and subscribe so we can get this going. But it's getting to about an hour 32, so we're gonna get ready to close this out. We want you guys to head on.
Never staying away, y'all. I swear, Mike, go away.
Woman, I was fine. I was having a good day. Okay, I just want to share the love and happiness with everybody. Damn, can I spread some love on?
You just
Maggie wants to kick Mike out already.
Everybody, that's Ms Maggie Font. Oh, she just trying to keep the players from having a scuffle.
Okay.
Be good, Mike. Be good. But for real, y'all, I appreciate all of y'all coming on tonight. Everybody that kind of got on this impromptu show. Look, we're going to be doing this throughout the season because it's going to be a lot because this South situation finna get fairly interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We under the radar, but that's okay, people. You know what? As a matter of fact, since some folks in here for the first time, let's go ahead and put that little video back up just in case the people kind of missed it in the back. Let's go ahead and put that up just a little bit. We're going to hype everybody up. Then we're going to lead this on off to Matt, Mike, and them show coming up at 8:15, I believe is the time set. They CP time. So,
Yes,
There we go. If you like it, like to hear it go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I like that. See, man, I'm ready to put up. Come on, have it. I'm ready to go out there and play now. I'm ready to get on the field.
This is the musical styles.
Oh,
K
yeah.
Styles helped with that when I add my little tweak to it. I gotta give K Style the credit. You know what I'm saying? So look, we hype up in here. We're gonna be at that open practice August 15th going in, y'all. So y'all come meet us at 110 section. Don't if y'all see us out there, come on meet us. Say hey, get some pictures. We out there finna turn up like it's a football game, y'all. So that's how we doing it up in here. That's all I got to say.
I'm gonna have to get a cardboard cut out and send it over there to y'all because I can't make it up there. I got to work on it. Y'all want to beat me out there? A cardboard cut out.
Send that boombox too. We're gonna walk around with it for you.
Yeah, that'll work.
Look. Got the little waving hand.
I know, right? Have a big hand just like this.
We're gonna wait another $5 from BlackBerry.
And just gonna wait.
Okay. Home team.
Let's see what this $5 does for the show.
Hey, there you go. Appreciate you, BlackBerry.
They don't even gas no more.
I'll be out there waving like the cowboy in Vegas.
Look. I am thankful for that for that quarter of a tank of gas.
I promise. Hey, we probably get a little bit more down here. Gas dropping down here.
Hey, look. You put the money in and you drive slow.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't go no more than 25. School's on track all day.
Turn the car off every time you hit a red light.
Put it in neutral or something. Well, look, man, we want to appreciate everybody for coming out, joining us on this impromptu show. We get ready to head over to Six-Man K Styles and everything. I want to thank our special guest, Ms Maggie Fontenot, Mad Mike, Mad Scientist, and Noah Tyndale, the professor.
Yes, sir.
Who you guess? Ain't me.
You special. This is special.
We got us another $5.
Yeah, go get another $5. Home team.
Listen, man, y'all can see we hype. We love our Falcons. We're gonna have a great season. Hey, y'all stay tuned because y'all have no idea what we about to bring. Telling you.
Nope.
Keep sleeping. You're gonna get that wake up when it's playing time. Believe that.
Yeah. Brian McFadden, they go for your
Skip Bayless.
We don't get that man on the show, so we can go ahead on them.
Brady.
In case y'all didn't know, Brian McFadden can get the smoke from me.
They don't need a show. They need an octagon.
What? You just don't know.
All right, look.
Yeah, man, that clown from NFL Network said we weren't gonna win no more than 2 games. All of them. Every last one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of them.
We get ready to get out of here.
A very simple Oklahoma drill.
Hey,
what?
We get ready to get out of here. Make sure y'all going over to Six-Man K Styles. Please make sure you get this man to 1K. He about less than 15 away from 1K, 14 away. Make sure y'all get over there. Like, share, subscribe. Hey, this is the AFN family. We will see you there in a little bit.
Yeah. Hey,
we out.
Love, piece of chicken grease, man.
Peace.
Peace.
See.